Hi Aries, welcome to your July Zodiac coming back. It's a new rule. You are going to get your reading according to how many clicks, shares, and subscribes you have and comments. So just go at it. You are Aries. When you want something, you want something. So to get it sooner. Also, if you're new here, this is the series that I have because I have been developing this spread to get the accurate answers. It's very accurate when I do it one-on-one if you want your private reading. Here, as a general reading, you might get tidbits here and there. It will be useful that besides your sun sign, you also check the ascendant and the moon sign. Below in description you have a link if you don't know which they are. And lastly, these are the significators. Yes, they're same in every of my readings because they are not cards being read. They are only telling me the titles of the chapters and what I want to figure out in order to really give you this answer. The Magician is telling me what goes on for you. Temperance reverse is going to tell me what needs to be glued back if this is ever to work out. These are the significators. They're interchangeable because it is general reading. So sometimes you're going to hear me using somebody is doing that. That's because they are interchangeable. So it doesn't have to be you, it could be them as well. Keep that in mind. Judgment card is telling me what is the karmic lesson, what are you learning at this stage, and the next steps. So let's start, Aries. So let's see what is going to come for Aries in July of 2019. Also keep in mind, guys, that sometimes it's very important to even see what this person is thinking. If you're still thinking about them but you really don't want them back, or you think they don't want you back, sometimes things just die. You know, you put a candle on the table and candle burns down. It's just basically dead. There is no transfer of energy in that situation, right? It's just like zero sum at that stage, but you still, there's like still lure, there is still connection. So because of that, it would be good to kind of like just indulge yourself and see it through the messages that you get here. Okay, so let's start, Aries. Aries. And I'm sorry I'm doing this sort of like without editing. I just really want you to get it because I also want to save some time. So you have Five of Pentacles, you have the Empress, you have the Six of Cups. You're clearly feeling this Mercury retrograde intensely. And you have another Six. So there is like a soulmate-y kind of like a feeling that you have over here with this partner. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, why do you feel this way? It seems like that somebody left somebody out in the open, exposed, didn't want to pick this person up. It kind of like felt devastated, felt pushed out, it felt isolated, right? Clearly there was like no kind of like pedestal thing going on here. You know, in a relationship, if you use bad words, you cannot take it back. Yeah, you can recover a relationship, and I can see those fights going on over here, right? But it always hurts. It's like literally that knife being pushed inside that cannot be pulled out anymore, right? But each and every time when you feel that you are back, that you're stronger, that you're back on your feet, I see that you kind of like long for them, and this is clearly in your case. In spite of all of this stuff, you need to ask yourself, why do you really want them? It could be that you also were doing some stuff and it was like kind of like going both ways. But look at the energy you're getting, like this Three of Wands. It's reversed. It's like that card of ships, basically, you know, saying, well, you know, do you really know where you're going, in which direction you're going? And ships are friendships, relationships, partnerships, right? But this positioning here is talking about delays and obstacles, and actually even disappointment of, looks like them walking away. Karma is talking about some kind of exchange. This card is like having so many different layers, and it's really difficult to interpret. And in this particular case, I feel that one person was a giver, and I think that was you. Another person was a taker, and kind of like really almost like had a brash attitude. It's kind of like, what comes to mind is like, let's say you spend so much time buying something for somebody, right? And not only do you buy and spend money that you probably don't have, because it looks like the money also kind of like was an issue at some stage, and then you put a bow on it and this extra packaging and everything, and this person just throws it away or breaks it, and like you're really wondering, you know, what the heck, you know, like it's just like really you feel poo-pooed kind of like on top of that, right? This Knight of Swords is also kind of like very brush quality that sometimes people have. It's kind of like half-baked story that somebody's pushing out and trying to gain advantage with this. It could be really hard, and it could be somebody who is extremely unreliable and somebody who is disorganized. You know, sometimes you see these people and you're like, oh my gosh, how do you ever get through? Be careful, that can be also your energy, Aries, and I know that I always should say somebody's energy, but this is talking about the next steps and saying to you, because it's your reading, that you cannot count on this person. That's kind of like coming through. So we have 9 of Wands. Ooh, you have the High Priestess. Could have been some kind of like secret that has been happening in this situation. You know, I can totally see Aries over here. Oh my gosh, look at this. Reverse, 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 reversed. You guys might be dealing with an earth sign over here. You're dealing also with somebody who has issues with the truth. So this is one of my karma cards, and it is coming through, and this clearly says the truth hasn't been told. This can mean you have been told a lie, but this also could mean you have been not told anything when you were supposed to be told. So kind of like lie by omission kind of a thing. So you really need to think about that as well, and maybe kind of like trace back your steps and see what happened. This is again talking about insecurity and confusion and chaos. Maybe this person was bored with you, because this person over here who is walking away, they're walking away out of boredom. You know, there are people like that who the grass is always greener, and it's a problem. And it's a problem in two ways. If they come back, yeah, sure, they couldn't find anything better, so it's good for now, but sooner or later they'll try to do that again, right? So you kind of like don't have this kind of like safety and peace of mind. If they walk away, you again feel, you know, left behind kind of a thing. But look at this, like it's going from 3 to 2, so it kind of like really feels like they are feeling they cannot even pull themselves together. And they know they have to put a little bit more effort in all of that. And again, it's telling me that you really want to kind of like build this kind of like relationship. But look at this, you have the major arcana. So this is really talking about the obstacles that you really need to work with, right? Tower is not fun card in tarot, right? The Tower is really saying that something is going to literally wake you up. You are going and going and going. You are a dog with a bone, or somebody's dog with a bone. Let's put it this way. And you want what you want. You want this innocence. You want this. So it almost like sounds to me that, and especially because the High Priestess is here reversed, that you are pushing it, because look at here is 9 and there is like a 1. You just like want to get to the next stage, to be with this person no matter what. And that could be that Aries quality. That's why I told you, like I can totally see that, like this 1 and 1, because you are a sign that starts with the month March. It's the 3rd month, and you're sign number 1. So 3 is, and which we see over here. So this is really talking about the March Aries as well, that is coming here very prominently. It's really the first level of action that you see, right? You are like totally denying yourself. You need to wake up, but you don't want to, or you can't, and this is reluctance. When the Tower reverses, which the Tower is a bad card as it is, here something shocking happens. Like, I mean, you think you're engaged and you see, you know, your darling with somebody else and you realize he's married, right? It's like a shock that kind of like really shakes you to the core. Doesn't have to be that extreme, but it's definitely something that takes you off the track, right? But when this reverses, it's really telling about a person who is not willing to see what's going on in spite of seeing it clearly. So, you know, some people say, I have to see it to believe it, but this person doesn't even see it. So if this is coming to you, you probably don't see something. So maybe it would be good to get a feedback from the other people, because you have been bruised over here. You really want to be important to this person, but this person is simply having their own agenda. This is telling me it's going to be a huge standstill situation where huge sacrifices would have to be made in order to kind of like look into the things. This whole one segment here is going to be about looking in the details. So there are like 2 8s showing up. To me, 8s are always connecting to commitment, and it's kind of like going through with a fine-tooth comb in a situation. Maybe you're approaching them with the forcefulness and you're being very resolute. We need to be together, and people like that energy of yours. Oh, but look at this. There are people over here, lots of people. But maybe they're saying, well, you know, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure how to go about it. They're getting this Wheel of Fortune card. Actually, you might just get lucky, to be honest with you. And there are lots of people here. Look at this: 9 of Wands, Page of Swords, 9 of Wands, King of Wands, Queen of Cups, and King of Swords. So this really tells me it could be some gathering where you see them. You see, they are coming here through 9 of Wands, and so what's going to happen? Like, they're always having that kind of like knight quality. You want a king, and they're a knight. Knights do not stay. Knights come and kiss you and wine you and dine you, and they leave. And it's kind of the quality that is really not nice. They're sort of like going to be controlling the game, because they will feel that they know your weakness, right? This is the Queen of Cups. You might try to control them emotionally, or somebody's controlling somebody emotionally. But this is calling here for really clear head. Knight of Swords is like really saying, look, you have to look into the situation in a clinical way. You need to open your eyes. You need to see, you need to hear what you need to hear. This Page of Swords could be a well-meaning friend telling you, look, this is not right. This person is not committing to you. This person is just, again, running out of your life. I hate to see you crying. I hate to see you lost. Because I also didn't cover here the High Priestess, which is kind of like reversed, because this is also talking about secrets, right? And of some kind of like loss and mistrust, right? It could be also repressing your own feelings, and that's why you're having the Tower to shake you up. You know, sometimes when people are in a shock, you slap them. Not because you enjoy to physically abuse them, but literally they need to kind of like snap out of where they are, right? So you want, you know, apple, they want orange. And that's kind of like flavor that I see over here. At one point, it's going to start to look like that you're going to start realization of what you really need. You really need to be placed on this pedestal. You really need to feel comfortable. And it's really a suggestion here for you to go for, you know, a fire sign, or for this Leo quality, like you need somebody generous with time and possibly with money. And you're going to realize, okay, I need to look away from all of that. You're turning your back, right? and they are turning their back. You know, the hardest part of this is going to be if you want to self-inflict the pain, because the Page of Swords is kind of like that checking on someone when you break up, and this is almost like this reading, right? Oh, look, they're happy. Well, I don't want them to be happy, kind of a thing. I really want them to rot in hell. Look what they did to me. And somebody was responding to me, and this was a very silly attitude that she really had about karma. She said, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to have such a nice things happening. Well, that's the idea, right? But you don't really don't know where you are on this karmic wheel. What if you are in this life paying for something you did for somebody, to somebody, in past lives? It happens really often. And also, this entire life is just a flick, it's a blink on the other side. It's, if you're looking at blink and it just like you have to look so many different timelines together, then this maybe means nothing and is going to be paid for in some other timeline. You have to keep that all in mind. So no, you cannot go, well, then I don't care if karma means nothing, I can as well be bad. Yeah, but it's going to come back, and then you have to work many, many more lifetimes to clear it. So that's not a solution either. Solution is here to really be good, do good. And if somebody doesn't do good to you, well, that sucks on them. You have to realize people tell you who they are, and you need to realize, okay, I saved myself because this is what I need. You clearly need to feel important. You clearly need to feel in charge. You also feel that you have lost control of yourself, and it could be that awakening. It could be that you're finally going to see things as they are, that you're going to open your eyes, and it's going to get much easier at that stage. But Aries, as I said, this is a general reading. You should check your ascendant and the moon sign, but this can be very different if I do the reading for you. So check me out at enquetarot.ca. When I do personal readings, I'm doing a little bit differently because I can actually connect with your spirit at that stage, and we can go from there. So guys, don't forget clicking, don't forget to push through, because next week I'm starting with monthlies, so more clicks the faster you get. And buckle up, Aries. It's going to be a really rough month, but I'm pretty sure you can do it. Okay, love you, all the best.